In big numbers, they came to the centre of Bangkok to escalate their call for change. Protesters gathered around Democracy Monument, a symbol of what they say Thailand doesn't have.
I can't take the fact that the government is so corrupt. It's been in power for far too long and things aren't getting any better.
After weeks of peaceful protests led mainly by students, this was by far the largest and most diverse, attracting Thais from different sectors of society, including other groups who have staged mass rallies in the past.
I'm glad more people have come out today. The power of young people and students alone can't force change. We need everyone to work together.
The protesters say Thailand's entire political system needs to change, including the monarchy. It's a dangerous and sensitive issue to take on because the royal family is protected by strict laws designed to prevent criticism. Demonstrators also want the government gone, and on Thursday, Thailand's Prime Minister, the Army General who led the military coup in 2014, addressed the nation. He urged unity at a time when the economy is being hit hard by the coronavirus pandemic.
Right now, we must focus on the economic survival of the tens of millions of people here. Let's get the economy going first, get that done by working together, then we can look at fixing the other issues collaboratively later.
But the protesters say the pandemic is proving and highlighting one of their points, that Thailand is an economically unequal society and must change.
Thais are well accustomed to political protests, but there is a sense that this is something different. A movement centred around a new generation, making unprecedented demands and wanting something profoundly different for Thailand.
In recent weeks, the government has warned the protesters to be careful what they say and arrested 3 protest leaders. But if that was a tactic to try to scare them and bring an end to the movement, it hasn't worked. And judging by the size of this crowd, it may be having the opposite effect. Wayne Hay, Al Jazeera, Bangkok.
Well, as Wayne said, protesters are demanding improvements to their lives. Many hoped last year's election, the first since the military coup 6 years ago, would restore democracy. The new parliament chose Prayuth Chan-o-cha, the military leader who led that coup, to carry on as prime minister. The opposition accused the military of rigging the vote. Earlier this year, the High Court disbanded the opposition Future Forward Party, accusing it of violating an election law by accepting a loan. The party controlled a third of parliamentary seats. Thousands of Thais protested. Now, it's not the only party dissolved in recent years. Rights groups say the government has cracked down on dissent using physical violence, intimidation and spying on critics. PAVIN Thakchawan is an associate professor of Thai politics at KYOTO University, and he says the calls for the monarchy's reform have never been so strong.
Since the official coronation, we have seen the expansion of political power of the current king, King Vajiralongkorn. This also coincided with the current COVID situation. I think the students, most of them, felt that they have been let down by their monarch, in terms of paying attention to the economic hardship of the people. And at the same time, they also seen their king, who have now living long-term in Germany, enjoying his life without, once again caring for his people. So I think these frustrations sort of added up at this point in time. That's why we have seen them, proposing a reform for the monarchy. This is not the first time, but I must say this time is very serious. It could be something emerging out of the Thai political context. We have seen student-led young activists, youth, most of them basically first-time voters as well. So we could see clearly the disconnection between political party and student. That's why we could say that they are basically genuine supporter of democracy without any political party backing them up. They have a lot of strategies. They use, the social media in terms of promoting their campaign. They come up with, artworks, new way of protest. They are so daring, making banners which, contain new language, if you would say, when it comes to criticizing the monarchy. I have never seen anything like that before.